This is William H's near-death experience, as detailed on the Near-Death Experience Research Foundation website. I was fully awake when my heart stopped beating and my last breath passed my lips. In the spring of 2003, a genetic time bomb went off and my body's time came to an end. The moment of death was upon me at age 53, and I found it a curious thing indeed. People around me grew quite excited, but an untroubled calm came over me, carrying me further and further away from the scene, as if moving me to an invisible but familiar place, just sideways to where my body lay. The sirens of the ambulance were soft and melodic. The questions of the emergency room doctors sounded like a different language. Minutes after they placed me on the emergency room table and fit an oxygen mask over my face, I felt my heart stop beating and I sighed my last breath. There was the briefest pause while my conscious personality puzzled that I did not gasp for breath nor seem concerned that my body had just died. And then it was suddenly cradled in my higher soul, and I was catapulted, for that is the only word for it, catapulted, wide awake, out of my body and into the sphere of universal communion. My whole life, it turned out, had been practice for the moment of dying. My higher soul stepped forward, speaking reassuringly about how it had been through this so many times before, while my lower soul, this lifetime's personality, went mute in the face of the vast unknown. My higher soul catapulted into it with one last sigh of joy and gratitude. What a glorious creation! I was fully awake when I entered the sphere of universal communion. How do I know that is its true name? I don't. I'm not even sure it's possible for it to have a single true name. But the sphere of universal communion is what I saw and what I felt, and it's the only true name I can imagine, the only one I can use to describe it at all. It appeared to me as a sphere of light, but light that is aware. Light that is awareness. Not something so much seen, since we have no physical eyes without a body, as sensed. Something like the warmth of sunlight, even when your eyes are squeezed shut, but with the additional sense of someone present, close by, their attention resting on the edges of your awareness gently. An aware light that is both the substance and the medium of communion within its own spherical spaciousness. An aware light that creates and sustains the possibility of shared awareness on a universal basis. I was fully awake when I realized I was myself a sphere of communion, a sphere of aware light, surrounded by an infinite number of other spheres of aware light. As I experienced it then, the sphere of universal communion is an infinite space of aware light that is occupied by all the individual spheres of aware light that ever have or ever will exist. as if it were one mind, occupied by all the individual ideas it ever has or ever will conceive. Or a timeless, limitless Oversoul, occupied by all the individual souls that ever have or ever will enter the realm of time, space, and personality. As I said, I do not pretend to know what its true name is, but the relation between the whole and its parts, and between parts and parts, this I can still see with diamond clarity. What can I still see of that bodiless state? Each of us, as an individual sphere of communion, seems the embodiment of two complementary halves, understanding and memory. While understanding seems the principal characteristic of the higher soul, memory seems to be the principal characteristic of the lower soul. As I experienced it, understanding is our individual portion of the limitless knowledge of the one soul, the evolving insight we possess into the way of the one, our individual spark of immortality. Memory, on the other hand, is the accumulated impressions of all the lifetimes we recall, the sum of all the personalities we have yoked to our soul, our enduring storehouse of mortal treasures.